Somewhere in northern Italy right now, there's a genuine 15th century fortress, the kind that once hosted Garibaldi inside its stone walls, with a private pool at the base of its Renaissance tower. And the asking price is €280,000, $322,000, less than a studio apartment in most major cities. I went through the listings most international buyers never even see to find 6 real Italian castles worth your time. Frescoed ceilings, baronial palaces, and the one I saved for the end is fully restored, wrapped in 70 olive trees, 30 minutes from Rome. Our journey begins in the northern lakes region of Lombardy, where an extraordinary opportunity sits on the market for €280,000, or roughly $322,000. We are stepping inside the historic walls of Besozzo Castle. The immediate visual impact of this property is staggering. This is a genuine 15th century fortress that once hosted the legendary Italian general Giuseppe Garibaldi within its stone walls. The property welcomes you through a magnificent Renaissance-style entrance portal leading into an expansive internal courtyard heavily dressed in ornate 18th century decorations, sweeping stone balconies and traces of original Renaissance graffiti still faintly visible across the rear wing. You are securing a massive, elegant apartment situated on the prestigious first floor, known traditionally as the piano nobile. The ceilings soar overhead, featuring intricate wooden coffers, while original period flooring runs beneath your feet. The massive, centuries-old windows pull in the exact kind of soft, diffused light that modern architecture simply cannot replicate. The layout is expansive and highly functional, a wide, sweeping entrance hall, still holding traces of antique period furniture, directly overlooks the lush internal courtyard. From there, a long hallway guides you back into the private sleeping quarters, offering 3 massive bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. These rooms are positioned perfectly to face the centuries-old private park that completely wraps around the entire estate, complete with shaded walking paths and stone walkways that burst into vibrant color every single spring. The most crucial detail for any prospective buyer is the condition of the home. The exterior facade of the castle has already been recently and meticulously renovated to preserve and protect its historic architectural character. This property is fully move-in ready. There are no major structural renovations waiting to consume your weekends, and no exhausting multi-year restoration diary hanging over your head. You also gain exclusive access to a stunning communal swimming pool tucked perfectly at the base of the towering Renaissance structure, complete with its own private stone solarium. The sale also includes a massive vaulted cellar for wine storage and a dedicated parking space secured safely inside the castle courtyard. Lombardy offers a brilliant lifestyle, placing both Lake Maggiore and Lake Como within effortless driving distance, while the international connectivity of Milan-Malpensa Airport remains just a short highway runaway. Moving further south, the investment climbs to €350,000, or roughly $402,000. We are leaving the alpine air of the north and dropping into the rolling, vineyard-covered hills of Umbria. This property is situated directly inside the historic medieval walls of Pietrafitta Castle, and it represents one of the strongest interior design aesthetics available right now. Tracing its deep architectural roots all the way back to the 12th century, the local history books connect this exact fortress to the Ghibelline ranks, Pope Leo XIII, and even Santa Caterina da Siena. You are acquiring roughly 250 square meters of immaculate living space, approximately 2,690 square feet, spread beautifully across 5 distinct levels. The interior has been recently and comprehensively renovated with exceptional modern taste, creating a flawless bridge between medieval stone architecture and sleek contemporary comfort. The ground floor introduces you to a practically brand new chef-grade kitchen, a cozy living room, and a pristine bathroom. As you move up to the first floor, which can be reached via a striking internal spiral staircase or a traditional external loggia, you are greeted by a massive double living area, another full bathroom, and a private terrace that looks directly out over the quiet village square below. The second floor offers 2 large bedrooms, both featuring direct access to their own private veranda or terrace, alongside a third bathroom. The third floor holds 2 additional spacious bedrooms and a fully finished 4th-level attic, with a final bathroom caps off the impressive vertical footprint. In total, you are getting 11 individual rooms, 4 proper bedrooms, and 4 bathrooms, making this a highly functional family estate rather than a cramped historic novelty. It is a completely solid, turnkey property where the heavy lifting of historic restoration has already been flawlessly executed. The exterior grounds elevate the entire package. You get a perfectly manicured, fully fenced private garden spanning roughly 100 square meters. It is large enough to park your vehicle securely inside the gates if you prefer to skip the street parking, and it features a subterranean technical room hidden underneath to house the utility systems. This property allows you to completely immerse yourself in centuries of Italian history while still enjoying the seamless comfort of a modern luxury home. Umbria offers the quiet, unhurried rhythm of authentic wine country, providing the exact same cinematic landscapes as neighboring Tuscany, but with a significantly calmer atmosphere and a far lower cost of entry. Our journey takes us all the way down to the deep south of the Italian peninsula, straight into the sun-drenched heel of the boot in the Salento region. For 500,000 euros, or roughly $575,000, the scale of property ownership shifts into an entirely different category. Situated in the town of Aradeo, this property is a majestic 16th century baronial palace known simply as Il Castello. It stands as a heavily fortified historic residence, and the sheer physical size of this estate is staggering. You are looking at approximately 1,400 square meters of constructed building space, over 15,000 square feet, sitting on more than a full hectare of sprawling private gardens developed across 3 massive levels. A monumental wooden and wrought iron entrance door swings open to reveal a grand internal courtyard covered in a genuine, meticulously preserved mosaic floor. From this central hub, you move through a labyrinth of soaring vaulted and barrel-style ceilings, massive stone fireplaces, and an external cloister lined with expansive reception rooms. One of the most incredible historical artifacts on the entire property is a massive room that previously functioned as the estate's dedicated olive oil mill, complete with an enormous original stone lathe hand-carved from local Lecce stone. This is the exact kind of profound historical detail that absolutely cannot be faked or replicated by modern builders. However, honesty is the cornerstone of any serious property evaluation, and it is crucial to understand the exact condition of this massive estate. The entire ground floor is in excellent condition, completely usable right away and ready to welcome guests through that beautiful mosaic courtyard. But the 2 sprawling upper floors require significant, comprehensive restoration. These massive upper levels feature huge, interconnecting rooms leading up to a spectacular rooftop loft that offers panoramic, unobstructed views over the Baroque rooftops of the town and the vast Salento countryside. This is not a simple weekend cosmetic project. This is a massive blank canvas for a visionary buyer. The Salento region frequently offers aggressive regional financial incentives for the purchase and historic renovation of properties exactly like this one, making the restoration process far more economically viable. Located just 15 kilometers from the turquoise waters of the Ionian coast, 30 kilometers from the Baroque masterpiece city of Lecce, and 70 kilometers from the Brindisi International Airport, this palace is perfectly positioned. It is built for a buyer thinking about long-term luxury hospitality, offering the perfect foundational footprint to be transformed into a high-end boutique hotel or an exclusive retreat. For our 4th stop, we head far north into the crisp alpine air of the Piedmont region. For 590,000 euros, or roughly $678,000, you can acquire the noble master portion of a spectacular ancient castle in the Biellese hills. The visual impact of this estate is genuinely cinematic. Sitting in a highly dominant, elevated position, the castle commands breathtaking, sweeping 360-degree views that stretch from the snow-capped Biella Alps all the way to Monviso, rolling seamlessly across the Baraggia Nature Reserve and the plains of the Novara region. The historic pedigree here is undeniable. You are walking into grand, echoing halls anchored by massive, centuries-old fireplaces, surrounded by period furnishings and absolutely spectacular frescoed ceilings that have been flawlessly preserved. The property is part of a skillfully restored medieval hamlet that fiercely protects its architectural charm. The currently inhabited ground floor features an elegant, cozy living room, a functional kitchen, and a formal dining room that opens directly onto a monumental 360 square meter panoramic terrace. A grand, sweeping staircase carries you up to a massive first floor completely dedicated to the sleeping quarters. Here, you will find incredibly well-preserved original parquet flooring and more soaring frescoed ceilings. The southwest-facing rooms open onto a dramatic, long balcony that runs the entire length of the historic facade, flooding the interior with natural alpine light. A smaller secondary staircase leads up into an authentic medieval turret, offering even more private rooms tucked high above the estate. Here is the necessary compromise. While the property retains an extraordinary amount of its noble charm, a full, comprehensive renovation is required to bring the entire estate up to modern luxury standards. The electrical and plumbing systems, the bathrooms, and the historic fixtures all need to be completely updated, while the vast roof and some of the interior floors require full reconstruction. This is not a quick flip or a fast move-in. This is a profound legacy project for someone who wants to completely restore a piece of Italian royalty, room by room, fresco by fresco. If you have the long-term vision, the setting is absolutely unbeatable. You are perfectly positioned just 100 kilometers from Milan and closely connected to the Malpensa International Airport. You are minutes away from Lake Viverone for summer water sports and surrounded by the Zegna Oasis and Bersina Park for world-class hiking. Dropping back down into central Italy, we enter the lush Sabina countryside, a region of rolling olive groves and quiet medieval towns sitting just north of Rome. For €780,000, or roughly $897,000, you can secure the keys to the Torre degli Orsini in the town of Stimigliano. This is an awe-inspiring historic tower, inextricably tied to the famous Palazzo Orsini, featuring deep architectural roots that trace all the way back to the 14th century. The interior walls showcase stunning, priceless frescoes attributed to the school of Renaissance master Taddeo Zuccari, which means the building is heavily and rightfully protected under Italian cultural heritage laws. The imposing stone tower anchors the property and remains visible for kilometers around. Reaching the fifth-floor terrace delivers a staggering 360-degree panorama over the entire river valley, with the rooftop space already fully equipped with its own water and electricity hookups. For outdoor entertaining, the sprawling interior splits naturally across two massive wings. On the tower side, the ground floor features a dramatic entrance living room with soaring vaulted ceilings. As you climb up through the physical body of the tower, you find a massive kitchen with thick wooden ceilings, a secondary living room centered around an exposed beam fireplace, and two large double bedrooms with their own dedicated bathrooms. On the palazzo side of the estate, the history becomes even more profound. You step into the Stanza Azzurra, a breathtaking room displaying a heavily decorated coffered ceiling. This leads into an entire frescoed reception hall illuminated by four massive windows, complete with its own stone fireplace. The layout continues into a grand dining room showcasing even more Zuccari school frescoes, a second independent kitchen, and several more upstairs bedrooms. The crowning jewel is a highly panoramic primary bedroom, featuring an ensuite bathroom and a completely private frescoed passageway. The heavy structural lifting has already been completed here. The vast roof and the interior floors have been meticulously restored, meaning the bones of the palace are entirely solid and completely safe. However, the priceless Renaissance frescoes themselves still require careful, highly specialized restoration work before they are fully brought back to their original, vibrant detail. The flexibility of this estate is unmatched. It could easily serve as an expansive, private luxury residence, a charming boutique hotel, or a high-end venue for exclusive events. You are sitting exactly 30 minutes from the city limits of Rome. You are acquiring Renaissance frescoes, a historic tower, and sweeping valley views for the price of a small, unrenovated apartment in most major global capitals. We reach the absolute peak of today's property ladder right here in the exact same town of Stimigliano. For €850,000, or roughly $977,000, you can acquire an entirely separate ancient tower dating back to the 1200s, once again tied to the powerful Orsini family legacy. This property represents the ultimate flawless intersection of medieval history and total modern luxury. The impact hits the absolute second you walk through the front door. You enter a massive, fully glazed modern lounge that opens straight out onto a sweeping, completely unobstructed view of the winding Tiber River Valley below. Moving past the lounge, you find an elegant, formal dining room and a massive, fully equipped professional-grade kitchen capable of hosting large culinary events. Moving over into the historic tower section itself, you discover a dedicated games room and a full, classic billiard room. In a brilliant display of modern convenience seamlessly layered into a medieval structure, a fully functional elevator runs up through the tower, granting effortless access to two massive, ensuite bedrooms located high up in the stone walls. This kind of practical, invisible modern luxury is incredibly rare in buildings of this age, But the estate does not stop at the main tower. A separate, beautifully restored outbuilding adds 2 additional double bedrooms, both featuring their own private bathrooms alongside a massive, dedicated laundry facility. This ensures the property functions as a complete, sprawling luxury estate rather than just an architectural showpiece. It is an absolutely flawless layout if you plan on hosting extended family for the entire summer, providing separate private guest quarters so nobody is ever tripping over each other. This property pulls ahead of everything else on today's list because it is totally, comprehensively restored down to the finest detail. It is a completely solid, immaculate property. There are absolutely no major renovations, no contractor delays, and no structural surprises standing between you and moving in tomorrow. The exterior grounds elevate the property into a true masterpiece. You get a perfectly manicured, terraced garden holding roughly 70 mature, producing olive trees. The land features 2 active artesian wells, and there's ample room to install a massive infinity hot tub looking straight down into the sprawling Tiber Valley. The entire property is fully gated, managing to feel deeply private and secluded while still sitting right inside a vibrant local community. You are a mere 5-minute drive from the Stimigliano train station, which offers direct, rapid connections straight into the heart of Rome and directly to the Fiumicino International Airport. This is not a cold museum. This is magnificent Italian life, and it is the exact kind of breathtaking finish line this entire property ladder was building toward. Taking a final look across the board, the variety of historic Italian real estate is simply staggering. For instance, low maintenance living with your own private swimming pool, the historic Besozzo Castle apartment provides a flawless entry point. For a fully turnkey family home with a pristine garden and complete daily comfort, the Pietrafitta house in Umbria is unmatched. If you're chasing the coastline and thinking about a massive luxury hospitality project, the immense Baronial palace in Aradeo offers an incredible blank canvas. If you possess the budget, the patience, and the vision for a true legacy restoration project, the Biellese castle portion in Piedmont is a once-in-a-lifetime architectural opportunity. For the most historically loaded estate, complete with authentic Renaissance frescoes, the Torre degli Orsini in the Sabina countryside stands completely on its own. And for the most complete, most immaculate, most profoundly livable estate on the entire market right now, the ancient medieval tower just 30 minutes outside of Rome provides the ultimate turnkey luxury experience. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more hidden real estate finds exactly like this, because the next region we cover drops the starting prices even lower. Drop a comment below and tell me exactly which of these 6 properties you would actually buy. Some buyers will always take the smaller, stress-free option for less money, while others will eagerly stretch their budget for the massive estate with the private olive grove. There is absolutely no wrong answer here, only the one that perfectly fits the life you are picturing for yourself. Tell me honestly which set of historic keys you would want handed to you today.